We are about to continue our program with the final on balance beam. Pozdravimo finalistice. Please
Here are our
welcome the
finalists.
Prva finalistica, predstavnica Kine, the first finalist representing China, Tienhan.
Please welcome our first balance beam finalist. She represents China, Tienhan.
Druga finalistica, predstavnica je Francuske, the second finalist
representing France, it's Elena Kolas.
Treća finalistica, predstavnica Slovenije. The third finalist
representing Slovenia,
Zala Chutnik.
Zala Chutnik.
Četvrta finalistica, predstavnica Njemačke.
The next finalist on the balance beam represents Germany, it's Paulina Schaefer.
Peta finalistica, predstavnica Velike Britanije.
Representing Great Britain, next in it's Ruby Stacy.
Šesta finalistica, predstavnica Turske. The third finalist.
Our next finalist represents Turkey, is Jiren Bina.
Sedma finalistica,
representing the Czech Republic, Vanessa Masova.
Czech Republic, Vanessa Masova.
And our final finalist in this balance beam competition from Italy, Manila Esposito. As with our men's vault competition, our women will get the chance to have a touch warm-up, starting with our first 4 finalists. On the balance beam, gymnasts get 30 seconds, which doesn't feel like much when you're on that balance beam and your nerves are flowing, but it's enough to acclimatise with the arena and the balance beam.
Prve 4 finalistice imaju na raspolaganju 2 minute za zagrijavanje. The first 4 finalists have 2 minutes, 1 touch, 1 lap time now. You may start warming up.
Dok se one zagrijavaju, mi ćemo tu zajedno sa Jimijem odraditi radni zadatak na našoj zapadnoj tribini. Imam pitanje tu za ovu ekipu. Ima netko da nije iz Osijeka? Ko nije iz Osijeka? Odakle ste, gospođo? Iz Makedonije? Odakle? Od kada se Skopje ima mikroklima? Kako kažu, šupreš, super. Dame i gospodo, pljesak za našu moću iz Makedonije. Volite poklon paket naših partnera iz Dobra za naše makedonsko devojče, ali nema kitka šarena, nego je ovako normalno. Gospođo, svaka čast. Sad smo čuli da je ulazak u Hrvatsku do 6 sati, vi idete van, nema, molim vas briga, samo spakirajte i recite da nemate ništa za prijaviti. Preko tovac, vi ste iskusni, da idemo mi preko tovarnik, tamo znamo svih 6 na granici, to je to. Znači, Bože, srećo sve. Znači, imamo jednog iz Makedonije, ima li netko ovdje da nije iz Osijeka, da je povukao iz daleka? Ajmo ovaj dio tribine. Ko tu nije iz Osijeka? Odakle ste, gospođo, vi? Da. Sveta Nedelja, Samobor.
The balance beam is definitely one of, if not the most nerve-wracking apparatus for gymnastics. And it's definitely down to who stays on. In beam finals, you do often see a couple of mistakes. Hopefully we won't see any today, but the nerves can get the best of you. And when you're performing one by one in a final, even the best of the best can mess up.
Ajde za Svetu nedjelju, a mi ćemo riješiti. Dimi, ova moja. Trebamo još neku fora nagradu, ako imamo još jednu, pa ćemo riješiti. Može jedna i za Ukrajinu, je li to u redu? Ajmo sad, ovo sam htio ko u Saboru. Ko je za? Ruke gore. Ima li ko protiv? Sudr? Pa to. Wait over there, okay? Samo malo, riješit ćemo.
Judges aren't judging this warm-up right now. This is just for the gymnasts and does not impact their score in any way.
Sad ćemo odraditi ovaj predivan sport. Kike je već dole s mikrofonom. Ona vam je bila toliko dobra na gredi da je pobjedila.
And for those new to the sport, the beam is 125 centimeters high and just 4 inches, 10 centimeters wide. Similarly to the vault, these gymnasts make these skills look effortless. But doing anything on a 10 centimeter plank of wood is a lot more difficult than it may seem.
A dok Frano stigne dolje, mi počinjemo. Prva nam nastupa predstavnica Kine.
We are ready with our first competitor. Representing China, it's Tienhan. Beautiful start to the routine. Judges looking for combinations where they keep flowing, the arms keep moving. And it's a huge acro series. Unfortunately, she's off. That is a 0. Excuse me, that is a whole mark deduction. So very costly. Again, really good in the combinations there. The full spin. A full turn is a requirement. We'll see different variations of spins and turns in this final. She's doing a really good job of connecting all these difficult elements. Another extremely difficult combination. She's showing beautiful flexibility and execution in all of her work. And it's a double pike dismount. Such a shame about that fall because the rest of the routine was excellent. Let's have another look at this mount combination. The forward walk over there. We didn't get to see the rest of the combination, but here was that error. She just lost balance. It looked like she could have saved it, but when you're that close to the end of the beam, it makes it a bit more difficult because you don't have much room to move your feet. If she had a bit more space, she might have been able to step back and save it. But there was another really good combination, and there was the split jump half into that difficult flick down to the beam, using the width of the beam, which, as I mentioned, is only 10 centimeters, so having to be so precise. So impressive, and she maintains beautiful form. The round-off double pike dismount. Legs glued together, just a hop-on landing. Chest a bit low. The judge is looking for that chest to be a bit more upright. Some beautiful work and a good start to this balance beam final. Tienhan qualified in third place with a score of 13.5. And here's the score, it's 13.266. 6.5 D score, a really strong D score there. She had lots of difficult work in that routine. Up next, young gymnast coming through the French ranks is Elena Kolas. Switch leap mount securely on. The handspring front combination has to save it, but does a good job and manages to stay on. Gymnasts have to show dance where different body parts touch the beam. So she's ticked that box with that dance combination. And through the wall spin. Triple acro series there. Very well performed. She's moving with a lot of confidence for such a young gymnast. Free cartwheel, smallest flicker of a wobble. Into the dismount. Round off, double pike somersault. Really well performed. Just 15 years old. Her first year as a senior. She's already made her mark as a junior. At the 2025 Junior World Championships, she was second in the all-around. And France got team gold. They also got team gold at the 2024 Junior European Championships, where Elena was first in the all-around. So she's really made her mark as a junior, and she now is proving herself as a senior. There was that flick, layout, triple series. And she stuck it flawlessly, showing great flexibility in those jumps. And here's the dismount round off, double pike. Gymnasts get 0.2 bonus for dismounts of a D value or higher. The double pike ticking that box. Managed to stay on there. Bending at the hips is classed as a large wobble, but always better to wobble than to fall. Really good landing on her dismount. Elena picked up a silver medal yesterday in the uneven bars final, and we'll also be seeing her later in the floor final. Such a friendly and fun atmosphere today in the Gardski Vert Hall. And here's the score for Elena Kolas, 13.233. That puts her into second place. The next gymnast who represents Slovenia is Zala Chutnik. Opens it with the backflip mount. Goes for the triple wolf spin there. Controls it really well. That looked like it was potentially a connection, but she knew that she hesitated too long, so used her judgment and moved to the next skill, which was a free cartwheel layout acro series. Really well done. She's doing well to minimize her wobbles and deductions throughout this routine. Flicked one, flicked two, into the dismount, and another secure landing. Here was that mount, the back flip. You have to land in that vertical position. And here was that triple wolf spin, really well controlled. That's an E difficulty skill. Showing over splits in her switch leap. And this acro series, really well done. No doubts on that landing. Her difficulty score was 5.4 in qualifications. I'll be interested to see if it's slightly lower today, as it looked like she didn't go for one of her connections. But it all depends on what the judges gave her in qualifications and today. Really clean work throughout her routine. Here was that free walkover. Again, does a good job at maintaining composure and not allowing any small wobbles to turn into big wobbles. Zala qualified in fourth place with a score of 13.366, which at the moment would be the top score. 13.266 is the highest score so far. Tienhan Fan of China is in that top spot at the moment. And it's 12.866, and the D score there was a 5. So as I mentioned, I thought it was going to be slightly down, as it looked like she didn't go for 1 or 2 of her connections. Next to compete represents Germany, and it's Paulina Schaefer. Really performing this routine. There's a difference between going through the motions and performing, and Paulina is definitely a performer on the balance beam. And there's her acro series, nicely done. Cleanly through the free cartwheel. She's off on the switch leap ring. A really difficult skill. She had a nice position in the air, but you have to take your eyes completely off the beam. And if you're offline, it's a really difficult one to save. Double spin, nicely controlled. And she's off on her own skill. Good work through that connection. And we don't often see that stag ring jump, so nice when gymnasts bring a bit of originality, which this routine isn't shy of. Unfortunately, there were 2 falls in that routine, one being on her eponymous skill, the side summy with the half turn.
Now the second group for finalists have 2 minutes one-touch warm-up. You may start.
The second half of the competition are now warming up. Some really great moments throughout this routine. Unfortunately, some more challenging moments, but a great opening switch leap mount there. She's an elegant gymnast. Right up on releve there, which is what the judges are looking for in terms of artistry. Artistry is really important on the balance beam and the floor in women's gymnastics. Paulina does a really good job of maximising artistry on the beam. But falls are costly in this sport, so I don't think we'll be seeing her break into those top spots. That Corbett dismount. And there's a score for Paulina Schaefer. It's 11.166. And here's our current standings with France's Elena Kolas in the top spot with 13.433.
Djevojke su se zagrivale i mi ćemo nastaviti sa natjecanjem. So the other four finalists have flown up and we're going to continue with the competition.
We are ready for the second half of this balance beam final. Representing Great Britain, it's Ruby Stacy. Switch leap mount. Ruby is a taller gymnast and uses her height to maximise her elegance. The double wolf turn there. Free cut will allow acro series. Cleanly through the free walkover. Looks a little bit hesitant that she might be missing some connections. There's a split jump into the Sissone. Gymnast having to show a 180 split in combination. Into the dismount, round off, double tuck, and a really good landing. Ruby looks happy with that routine, as she should. Hardly any errors throughout. Switch leap mount showing a good split in the air. Here was her acro series, really good height in that layout and no wobbles on the landing. Ruby did a really good job of not giving much away at all. A slightly lower D score, I'd imagine. But sometimes in a balance beam final, when others might be making mistakes, if you go for that higher execution and play it slightly safer, that can work in your favour. Double back dismount, she'll get a deduction for the wider knees, but she landed it really well. Ruby was second on the balance beam at the 2026 British Championships, and she's the 2026 English Beam Champion. It's 13.066, and that puts her into bronze medal position with 3 competitors left to go. Competing next from Turkey is Jiren Bina. A difficult mount. Round off pike somersault onto the beam. The free cartwheel into the backflip acro series, slightly easier than the layout combinations that we've seen, but securely performed. Free walkover and a split jump fall. Jump full turn sideways on the beam. Any jump performed sideways receives 0.1 higher than performing it the traditional way. Preparing for her wolf turn. Looks a little offline, but manages to save it. A strong double pike dismount to finish her routine. Perhaps lacking a bit of artistry. Some dynamic skills throughout. Here was the mount. She was just a bit offline from the springboard. By the time you rotate and can see the beam, it's a difficult one to save. It looked like she was potentially going to join that free walkover to the next skill, but was just a bit hesitant. Here was that wolf turn, which she did well to save. And this was her acro series, the free cartwheel into the backflip. And the jump full turn, using her toes to grip on. You can see just how thin the beam is when a gymnast stood on it sideways, and the fact that their feet and heels are both off the beam on each side demonstrates that. She ended the routine on a high there with a really strong round-off double pike dismount. There's the score. It's 11.6, which puts her into 5th place. The next competitor on the beam represents the Czech Republic. It's Vanessa Masova.
Representing the Czech Republic, Vanessa Masova.
The switch leap mount into the switch half there. Flick layout, securely done. She's got a beautiful toe point. Double twist, double spin, excuse me, in the wolf position. An unusual dance combination straight out of her free walkover there. Really nice to see gymnasts doing different work in their dance as well as their skills. Leap combination. Side summy. She looks very calm throughout this routine. And she sticks to dismount, the front somersault with the full twist. Beautiful gymnastics from start to finish. She qualified in 5th place with a score of 13.333. That routine was really nice to watch. Over splits in her mount, and she joined that into the split change half. We didn't see it there on the replay, but that was really well done. Ticking the box for her acro series. We've seen more difficult ones today, but really well executed. And her dance was something that stood out to me. She had some unusual dance combinations, which really suited her. This part here, straight into the needle scale and into the artistic dance combination. Her dance made her routine stand out, and I think the judges will hopefully reward that. There's been a push for more artistic gymnastics over the last couple of cycles, and I think that Vanessa Masova is a great example of good artistry. And a stuck landing. It's going to be interesting to see what the judges give that. So it was 13.333 in qualifications, and the current top score is 13.433. To get into bronze, she needs 13.066. And she doesn't quite manage to get into the medal positions, 13.033. And it's our final competitor in this balance beam final, representing Italy, Manila Esposito. She does a good job to save that. She really had to push her body back online. Dynamic combination, showing oversplits in the leaps. Free walkover into the split jump, not a flicker of a wobble. Easily through the free cartwheel. Moves seamlessly from her dance into her elements. Manila has such a great combination of both flexibility and power, and we see that demonstrated throughout this beam routine. Round off double pike to finish. She made that look effortless. She qualified in 1st place with a score of 13.733. She's an Olympic bronze medalist on the balance beam, and we saw just why in that routine. She's a master of both difficulty and artistry. Here's that difficult mount combination, round off, flick onto the beam, into the layout and into the back flip. And she did a really good job of saving that. She'll pick up a small deduction for the wobble. Great split positions in those jumps. and she connects those skills without a pause. Judges get to decide whether they think it was connected quickly enough and if the gymnast continued to move from skill to skill without a pause. She's got a high level of difficulty in this routine. I think she'll be challenging for that top spot. She had a difficulty score of 5.6 in qualifications, which was the second highest behind Tienhan of China, and equal difficulty of Elena Kolas, who's our current leader. A small deduction on her double pike dismount. Currently in third place is Great Britain's Ruby Stacy. Currently in second place is Tienhan of China. Currently in first was Elena Kolas, but the winner representing Italy, Manila Esposito, 13.666. Italy have become such a powerhouse in gymnastics over the last few years, picking up that silver medal as a team at the Paris 2024 Olympics. And Manila, a strong competitor, leading the way for Italy in women's gymnastics. Here are the final standings in our balance beam competition, and it's time for the medal ceremony.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednica u disciplini greda. Award ceremony for balance beam. Medalje će uručiti gospodin Tomislav Paškavlin, izaslanik predsjednika Republike Hrvatske i savjetnik predsjednika Republike Hrvatske za sport. The medals will be presented by Mr. Tomislav Paškvalin, representative of the President of Croatia and President's Commissioner for Sports. Treće mjesto i brončana medalja predstavnica Kine. In the third place, winning the bronze medal representing China, Tienhan.
In third place, representing China, Tienhan. She went for maximum difficulty. Unfortunately, she did have a fall, but that's why she still ends up with the bronze medal, because she pushes the envelope of difficulty.
In the second place, winning the silver medal representing
In second
France,
place, representing
Elena Kolas.
France, Elena Kolas. Her second medal of this World Cup. She has a silver already in her collection, received yesterday on the uneven bars. And this young gymnast proving that she is a force to be reckoned with on the senior stage.
Prvo mjesto i zlatna medalja predstavnica Italije. In the first place, winning the gold medal representing Italy, Manila Esposito.
Representing Italy, Manila Esposito. No stranger to beam medals. She adds another gold to her collection. Beautiful style. A true champion of the balance beam.
Dame i gospodo, poslušajmo himnu Italije. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to, please stand for the national anthem of Italy. A ako se pitate što je sa ukupnim pobjednicama svjetskog kupa,
Your balance beam medalist here at the Osijek World Cup 2026. In third place, Tienhan of China. In second place, Elena Kolas of France. And in first place, the balance beam champion, Manila Esposito of Italy.
Who are here with us today are the 2026 Sada će nam uslijediti finale u vježbi na tlu. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin with a final on floor. And please welcome the finalists. Prva finalistica, predstavnica Kanade.
It's time to welcome our women's floor finalists.
Leah Monica Fontaine.
Representing Canada, it's Leah Monica Fontaine.
Druga finalistica, predstavnica Italije. The second finalist,
Representing Italy is Jiren Marano.
Treća finalistica, predstavnica Njemačke.
Representing Germany, Karina Shmaya.
Četvrta finalistica,
Representing Italy, Benedetta Gaba.
Benedetta Gaba. Peta finalistica je predstavnica
Representing France,
Fifth finalist, representing
Mayana
France,
Pat.
Mayana Pat.
Also representing France, Elena Kolas.
Fifth finalist representing France, Elena Kolas. Sedma finalistica,
Representing Austria, Charlize Mertz.
Charlize Mertz.
And the final competitor representing Germany, Charlene Pat.
Charlene Pat.
As we've seen with our other apparatus, the first four gymnasts will have their warm-up. On the floor, the gymnasts are able to warm up all at the same time.
Prve četiri finalistice imaju na raspolaganju 2 minute za zagrijavanje. The first four finalists have 2 minutes warm-up time now. You may start warming up.
And then we are straight into competition. So, time for a quick drink or a quick snack, and then we are straight back into competition here at the Gardski Vert Hall in Osijek, Croatia.
I uskoro ćemo vam objaviti tko je zaslužio jedno posebno priznanje da se malo razveselite zahvaljujući našim sponzorima, stoga ostanite s nama u dvorani da slučajno ne bi neko rekao mi smo bili, ali baš smo izašli van. Ne može, nego ostanite s nama. Ja ću ponovno zahvaliti moje drage Kristini što se pridružila. Nakon što smo kredu odradili s nama, ide ono što isto voliš, nije ti baš mrsko.
Nije mi mrsko, drag mi je i parter jako i jako se veselim natjecanju i vidjeti cure što će sve pokazati.
Finale kao finale, 8 imena dobro poznatih. sjajne natjecateljice. Imaš i nekog favoritkinju, točnije da budem precizni?
Definitivno je favoritkinja natjecanja danas Njemica Karina, koja je jučer uzela naslov na preskoku. Međutim, i ostale djevojke su kvalitetne i nije nigdje uklesano u kamen ko će uzeti medalju.
Neka, nekim je sa srećom. A mi ćemo zahvaliti našim pokroviteljima ove godine koji nas prate na ovom sjajnom gimnastičkom putovanju. Ministarstvo turizma i sporta, grad Osijek, Osječko-baranjska županija, Hrvatska turistička zajednica, Turistička zajednica grada Osijeka, Turistička zajednica Osječko-baranjske županije, HEP, JANAF, Žito grupa, Enterprise, Europlakat, Zagrebačka banka, Jamnica i Špik. Molim vas jedan veliki pljesak za sve pokrovitelje i sponzore. Oni nama urete točno kad treba, a popunimo sve kapacitete u Osijeku. Neka to se zna. A kako vas je lijepo vidjeti još uvijek toliko puno. Znači da volite gimnastiku, a volite pozdraviti goste ovoga grada, a koga ćemo prvo pozdraviti ovdje?
Prvo ćemo pozdraviti našu prvu finalisticu.
And we are ready for our first competitor. She represents Canada. It's Leah Monica Fontaine. What a way to start this women's floor final. She was the top qualifier with a score of 13.4. Some really powerful tumbling. A fun routine from start to finish.
Well, she deserves it definitely. Zaslužila na te sjajne rezultate svojim radom. A kad krene muzika, meni top. Ja se odmah uživim, već bi ja.
She had the crowd going from start to finish. Let's take a closer look. Double twisting, double back to open. Doubles with the leg up. She had some difficult tumbles, but also went for the difficulty in her dance elements as well. There's that double straight. Her landings were really good throughout. Her tumbling was effortless, and she had some really hard work in there. The front somersault walk out into the double back. Gymnasts can also be deducted for their artistry. She put on a performance. She had a high start value in the qualification competition. Her difficulty score being 5.7, which was the joint highest. Execution scores on floor are quite difficult. There's lots to deduct from the landings to the leaps to the jumps, as well as the artistry. So we're looking for high sevens as a strong E score. An E score in the 8s would be really, really strong. The German and Canadian coaches having some fun there.
All good. Yeah, I'm okay.
Such a great atmosphere in this arena.
Ajmo sad da vidimo kakva je ocjena Osijeka. Gledatelji da vidimo, dižete u zrak ili srce ili lajkić, kakva je bila Leah, 3-4 sad. Leah, they say you were good with hearts and everything, so congrats. Evo i ona vama dala srce. Dobili smo sve. Ovo je pravi diplomat.
The crowd getting involved, showing off their emojis. Lots of love for Leah Monica in this arena.
I ocjena prva tu, 13 isto.
The score is 13.1, slightly down on her qualification, which was 13.4, but a strong score and the score to beat. Next to compete, representing Italy, Julie Marano. Another fabulous routine there. And another young gymnast. She's just 17 years old. Leah Monica before her, just 16. World Cup competitions are great for these young gymnasts to get some experience with less pressure of a team competition, as it would be at a World Championships or a European Championships a lot of the time. Here was that opening tumble, the full twisting double back, just a hop on landing, but manages to stay in bounds. There's the double spin with the leg at horizontal into the back spin. 1.5 punch front into the full twist, forwards. She did a lovely job at showing off her choreography. And she had plenty of energy left for that double pike somersault. There's the wolf turn. Gymnasts can choose to wear socks if they want, and the socks will help for those spins.
Submitted for Leah Monica Fontaine for D-score,
You can hear the arena announcer say there was an inquiry for Leah Monica, but the score remains unchanged. Julie was first on floor at the 2025 Italian Gold Championships, and she qualified in second place with 13.166 here in Osijek. And she's in second for now as well with a score of 13 exactly. Next to compete, it's Germany's Karina Shmaya. A really fun performance there. Lots of fun facial expressions, matching the music from start to finish. Karina already picked up a gold medal in yesterday's vault competition, and she's receiving lots of red hearts for that floor routine. Double twisting, double back somersault. And smiles all around. The judges are looking for facial expressions that match the music. And she did a really good example of that. They're also looking for gymnasts to hit all of those smaller beats within the music, which she also did a really good job of. Another look at that double twist and double back. 2 twists, 2 somersaults, and she made it look easy. The combination tumbling pass, receiving some bonuses, and there's those fun facial expressions, bringing the performance to life. And the double back somersault, just a small hop, stumble back, which will pick up a couple of tenths deduction. 12.533 is the score for Karina. 0.1 higher than her qualification score. Up next on floor from Italy is Benedetta Gaba. A great routine there from Benedetta. What stood out to me most was how precise she was in her jumps and leaps. She brought a lot of energy to her choreography as well.
Bila je zadovoljna svom izvedbom, mahala je svima, a svaka je čast. Jedna strana, zamotan, gleža.
There was that full twisting double back, opening tumble, a precise landing, and then the whip into the double back, gaining some bonus points by connecting those. Handspring, double twist forwards, a good level of tumbling. And there was the double pike, nice landings throughout as well.
Baš sam primijetila, ne samo sada u finalu, nisu gledatelji bili ovdje na kvalifikacijama, ove godine stvarno ima puno više plesne glazbe, ima klasike, bio je hard rock.
And she finished those tumbles and was immediately back into the performance of the routine. You saw there that facial expression, keeping the performance alive throughout. And there was an example of her great leaps, showing over splits in the air. And another example of her facial expressions, maintaining the performance straight out of each tumble. And there's the score. She's in third place at the moment. A tricky place to be when there's 4 people left to go, but a score of 12.866. Exactly the same as what she scored in qualifications. Here are the current standings. In third place, Benedetta Gaba of Italy. In second place, Marano of Italy. And in first place currently, Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada.
Ja kao nevječena plesačica se slažem s tobom.
Onda u redu. Predložit ćemo, možda to budu neki novi elementi za sljedeće godine.
Ali sad ćemo zato ići dalje. Ovako kako je. Nastupit će nam 5. finalistica, predstavnica Francuske.
We are ready to go with our second half of competition in this floor final. Representing France, it's Mayana Pat. An elegant, stylish performance there, which seemed to really suit her.
Je svjetska juniorska prvakinja iz 2025. s timom Francuske i brončana na parteru. I evropska juniorska prvakinja iz 2024. se ekipno i na grani.
Fenomenalna izvedba i pokazala je danas svoju kvalitetu I zašto je osvojila
She's got
sve što je
beautiful
do sada.
fingers,
Za razliku od prijašnjih
extending them throughout her dance
gimnastičarki
work.
kod njih smo mogli vidjeti jako puno neakrobatskih elemenata.
1.5
jako
walk
puno
out into the
skokova
double
I
back
to
somersault.
posebno ovih skokova
All
do
the
glava,
gymnasts so far,
odnosno
including
ring
Mayana, have
kicks,
showed
kako se to
such
zove
a
kod
high
nas.
level of
I
both
stvarno
tumbling
izgleda
and
jako, jako lijepo, s
leaps
punom
and jumps.
amplitudom. I između ostalog ona u pravilniku ima jedan svoj element.
Front somersault with the full twist, connected into another front somersault with a full twist, racking up some bonus points. Digs those toes in to stay in bounds. And again, we're seeing a good use of facial expressions. I think the artistry rules are really starting to come to life now. You see her using facial expressions, she's stretching throughout her entire body, including her fingers.
Prva pozicija, dame I gospodo, preuzima vodstvo. In the lead.
A really good performance, a crowd pleaser. These young French gymnasts really making their mark. She scored 12.9 in qualifications, so she's improved, and it's put her into the top 3. 13.1, a really good score. Next to compete is her teammate, also representing France, Elena Kolas. Wow, that was truly stunning from start to finish. It felt like it flowed seamlessly from dance into the tumbles and was really well suited to her. Round off into the 2 whips, backflip, triple twist, a difficult opening tumble. And then the double back somersault. Good landing on that tumble. Great work in the switch spring, showing over splits. Front somersault walk out into the double twist. Fairly simple tumble there, but she won't pick up many deductions on that. And then the double pike to finish, another good landing. Another look at that ring position. Her choreography was beautiful. She was expressive from her head to her toes. She really drew you into the performance. Judges are looking for elongation, and there's a good example of that. Posture, footwork, facial expressions, they really want you to bring the performance to life, and I think Elena did just that. And that is why she's in that top spot, 13.133. Just edging ahead of Canada's Leah Monica by 0.033. And we've got 2 competitors left to go. Next to compete, representing Austria, Charlize Mertz.
The next finalist representing Austria, Charize Mertz.
Clean work throughout her routine. Again, I think she chose music and choreography that suits her as a gymnast. There was one easier tumbling pass in there, which could be that she's nursing an injury or she's just getting her fitness back, as I'm sure she's capable of a bit more, but you've got to make smart decisions. There was that beautiful double straight, which looked effortless for her. There was the straight back, which is the tumble I was talking about. A lot easier than the rest of her skills. And the double pike just opened out a little bit early, so had to take a step forwards. Again, we're seeing use of facial expressions, which we definitely wouldn't have seen a few years ago. So these new artistry rules, or newer artistry rules I should say, we have had artistry rules in place for a couple of cycles now, but I think the emphasis on them in this cycle is really starting to pay off. We're seeing gymnasts choose music and choreography that suits them, where they really can bring out their personalities. She was 6th in qualifications with a score of 12.633. At the 2025 Austrian Team Championships, she was 1st in the all-around, 1st on beam and 1st on the floor.
But the score has remained unchanged. Dakle, bio je upit za ocjenu Elene Kolas, ali suci su odlučili.
Sounds like there was another inquiry for France's Elena Kolas this time, but the score remains unchanged. Coaches can inquire on the D score, the difficulty score, and the judges take another look, or the superior judges take another look. It's a gamble, as your score can go down or up or remain unchanged. And in this case, it's remained unchanged as it did for the previous inquiry as well. We've got one more gymnast to go as we wait for our penultimate score. And there it is, 12.266, which puts Charize Mertz into 7th place. And our final competitor is ready to go, representing Germany, Charlene Pat.
Finalist representing Germany, Charlene Pat.
Well, I think it's fair to say the German team have been working on their facial expressions. Like her teammate Karina, she had some moments of real fun and joy showing off her floor routine. There were also a couple of moments where she did have to save herself, and it'll be interesting to take a second look at that wolf turn, where I think she put her hand down behind her, which could potentially result in a whole mark deduction as a fall. A little step out of the floor there, which will be a 0.1. Good work through the combination pass there. And here she really did well to save herself. It'll be a large deduction, but not as big as falling. You're looking at probably half a mark versus a full mark for a fall. So she did a really good job there to save herself. Nice splits in those leaps. All the gymnasts today have done a good job of showing over splits. And here's that spin I was talking about. They didn't show the end of it, so that was the part I was looking at to see whether the judges took it as a fall. She scored 12.466 in qualifications. And she qualified in 7th place. And it's 11.766, which puts her into 8th place, completing today's floor final. And here we have those final results in our floor final at the Osijek World Cup. And it's a tie for 2nd place. Canada's Leah Monica Fontaine and France's Mayana Pat. And the floor champion, also representing France, Elena Kolas.
Svečanost proglašenja pobjednica u disciplini vježba na tlu. Award ceremony for women's floor exercise. Medalje će uručiti gospođa Nihe Zaid, tehnička delegatkinja Svjetskog gimnastičkog saveza na ovom svjetskom kupu. The medals will be presented by Mrs. Nihe Zaid, World Gymnastics Technical Committee representative at this World Cup. Nemamo treće mjesto, nego dvije gimnastičarke dijele drugo mjesto i srebrnu medalju. I to predstavnica Kanade. We have a shared second place and silver medal, two silver medalists. One is representing Canada, Leah Monica Fontaine.
In joint second place, representing France, Mayana Pat, and representing Canada, Leah Monica Fontaine. There is a tie break of the highest execution score and the highest difficulty score, but both these gymnasts had the exact same, both execution and difficulty. So they both earned themselves a silver medal.
Prvo mjesto i zlatnu medalju osvojila je predstavnica Francuske. In the first place, winning the gold medal representing
first place, representing France, Elena Kolas. She picks up her third medal of this World Cup. We saw her earn silver earlier on the balance beam. Silver yesterday on the vault, and it's gold this time for France's Elena Kolas on the floor. That was the final time we'll see our women competing here in Osijek, and what a final it was. Here's your top three one more time. In joint second place, Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada and France's Mayana Pat, and your floor champion, France's Elena Kolas.